Hello friends, a great welcome to the channel. As all of you, JMI PG exam is going to be conducted very soon, and for that you must know the exam pattern and the kind of questions that can be the part of this examination. अपनी preparation को बहुत thorough रखिए. This video is only of some sample questions and you really need to study thoroughly to clear the GMA examination. There are only 40 seats. This is the GMA exam pattern: 40 MCQ questions and 60 marks subjective questions divided in two questions, 30 marks, one from literary theory and criticism, generally a quotation given to explain, and one a reflective essay on some author, some text, some moment, or any kind of critical perception. So as I told you, you need to prepare very thoroughly, very deeply for this subject. इसी तरीके से क्वेश्चन पेपर को डिस्कस कर लेते हैं किस तरीके का क्वेश्चन पेपर होता है. They can be entirely different questions, but this is surely going to give you an idea about the question paper. What is the main function of post-colonial criticism? तो आपको एक तो सभी एराज पता होने चाहिए, उसी के हिसाब से आप आंसर कर सकते हो. लिटरेचर को अगर आप सरफेस लेवल पर कवर करके एग्जाम क्लियर करने की कोशिश करोगे तो दैट इज अ नेक्स्ट टू इम्पॉसिबल टास्क. स्टडी एवरीथिंग डीपली. You can take example from many post-colonialist literature like Chinua Achebe's writing or Orientalism by Edward Said और गायत्री चक्रवर्ती's Pivot subaltern text. सब में दिखाया गया to represent the relationship between colonizers and colonized. Next question, a song transmitted orally tells a story is. The correct answer is option B, ballad. हमारा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन साइकोएनालिसिस से रिलेटेड है. To whom is the concept of uncanny attributed? The correct answer is the name of father of psychoanalysis, that is Sigmund Freud. Next question, a long lyric poem serious in subject with an elevated style is what? The correct answer is ode. There are so many examples of ode, specifically the 6 odes written by John Keats in 1819. A brief work of prose fiction is called what? यहाँ पर आपको brief पर concentrate करना है. Let us see the answer. The correct answer here is short story. A bold overstatement of a fact is what? The correct answer here is hyperbole, an exaggerated statement. Somebody who is very thin can be called you're as thin as a toothpick. Next question, question number 7. A statement which evokes amusement or scorn. एक ऐसी statement जो आपको amuse भी कर सकती है या फिर hateful भी feel करवा सकती है. कैसी हो सकती है ऐसी statement? The correct answer here is satire. Satire is something, a very useful tool. It can provoke someone to hate you, it can provoke someone to love you. And there are some questions जिनको देखकर लगेगा बहुत simple है. Biography, everyone knows what is a biography. But then you really need to deep dive into all the 4 options. कई बार options बहुत confusing होती हैं and you are not able to come to know कि which one is the correct. There is a very thin line difference. So you need to identify all the options properly. There are 4 options: a narrative history of the life of a person, amusing events from a person's life, success story of a politician, an account of great events. थोड़ा सा confusion हो सकता है specifically looking at the first 2 options, but the second one, when we mention some events of a person's life, for example सुधा मूर्ति को बहुत एक हैबिट है अपनी लाइफ के कुछ स्पेशल इंसिडेंट्स को एक स्टोरी में कन्वर्ट कर देने की. That we will call to be a memoir, not a biography. Biography is the narrative history of the life of a person. A short composition in prose is called what? The correct answer here is essay. Next question, lines which rhyme in pairs are called what? Free verse, heroic couplet, meter, poetic diction. So one more topic that you really need to cover in depth is prosody. प्रोसिटी के अंदर मीटर राइम रिदम सब कुछ आ जाता है, किस तरीके से कौन सा मीटर होता है, टेट्रामीटर, पेंटामीटर, वो सभी मीटर्स की नॉलेज होना भी बहुत ज़रूरी है आपको. गो फॉर दिस टॉपिक while your preparation and let us see what is the correct answer. The correct answer here is heroic couplet. Heroic couplet क्या होता है, free verse क्या होता है, blank verse क्या होता है, meters क्या होते हैं, poetic diction क्या होता है, meters को identify कैसे कर सकते हैं, ये सभी knowledge depth में आपके पास होनी चाहिए. The physical location of a narrative is called what? This is not a tough question. The correct answer is setting. Don't we say ever what is the setting of this movie? This movie is shot in maybe Paris, London, or some local village. So that becomes the setting of that movie. Same goes for fiction. So a physical location is called setting. Plot form of tragedy and comedy. Again, I'll say not a very tough question. Tragicomedy. This video is a very surface level question which will give you the idea the kind of topics that you need to cover. अब आपको इन्हीं सभी टॉपिक्स की डिटेल पता होनी चाहिए. डेप्थ में क्वेश्चंस कहीं से भी आ सकते हैं. मे बी यू कैन बी गिवन टू आइडेंटिफाई विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज अ ट्रेजी कॉमेडी. ट्रेजी कॉमेडी की डेफिनेशन, ट्रेजी कॉमेडी के एग्जाम्पल्स, नॉट ओनली ट्रेजी कॉमेडी जो कि हमारा आंसर है यहाँ पर, कॉमेडी, ट्रेजिडी, नैरेटिव, इन सब के आपको फंक्शनैलिटीज, आपके कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, सबके एग्जाम्पल्स बहुत डिटेल में पता होने चाहिए टू अपीयर फॉर दिस एग्जाम. An elaborate form quote entertainment is what? Lyric, essay, sonnet or mask? The correct answer here is mask. Mask is defined as a performance. Often it is allegorical performance. In a royal court or aristocratic home, performance is performed. Number of Shakespeare's play contain masks somewhere in the action where characters have a party or where there is music and dancing. Romeo and Juliet is one great example of that. And in one more play, Midsummer's Night's Dream, there is a mask celebrating the marriage of the Duke and Amazon Queen in the end. Next question, Bildungsroman. Novel of formation, novel of manners, novel of ideas, or novel of voice? The correct answer is novel of formation. Again, I'll say आपको buildings Roman और buildings Roman की जैसे और भी बहुत सारे terms जैसे कि constant Roman वो सब पता होने चाहिए और सबके different distinguished characteristics पता होने चाहिए. Not necessary कि यही question आएगा आपको exam में. आपको इस term से related, इस topic से related कुछ भी associated question आ सकता है. A systematic study of versification. The correct answer is prosody. A lengthy speech by a single person interacting with another character is conversation, dramatic monologue, dialogue, or interlude. Lengthy speech by a single person. It cannot be a dialogue, it cannot be called a conversation, it cannot be called an interlude, and hence it is called to be a dramatic monologue. ड्रामेटिक मोनोलॉग के साथ और भी बहुत कुछ एसोसिएटेड होता है जैसे कि डायलॉग, soliloquy, aside, and too many other forms of conversation which you really need to understand in deep. A dramatic presentation of serious action with disastrous conclusion is what? आई नो इतना वर्ड सुनते ही, इतनी डेफिनेशन सुनते ही मेरे बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स को बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल्स याद आ गए होंगे जो हम लोग क्लास में डिस्कस करते रहते हैं रिलेटेड टू ट्रेजेडी, स्पेसिफिकली रिगार्डिंग ऑल द टर्म्स गिवन बाय एरिस्टोटल. करेक्ट आंसर हियर इज ट्रेजेडी. ट्रेजेडी के फीचर्स बहुत अच्छे से पता करिए और एक एक चीज को कैप्चर करिए कि क्या क्या ऐसे कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है मिलकर जो कि एक ट्रेजेडी क्रिएट करते हैं. क्या क्या आप एग्जाम्पल्स दे सकते हैं, क्या है ऐसे तीन चार टर्म्स जो कि एक प्लॉट को एक कॉम्प्लेक्स प्लॉट में कन्वर्ट करते हैं. I know this question puts a smile on your faces, specifically those who are preparing for a longer period of time. A narrative that is composed entirely by an exchange of letters is what? I keep on discussing this question in my classes, epistolary novel, and we do take many examples too. आप में से जिसको भी कुछ examples याद आए हैं, please do tell me in comments. A novel that emphasizes social customs of a particular locality. Particular locality we are talking about. Of course, the name is inherent in all these options, and this is regional novel. An 18th century novel that emphasized tearful distress is which one of the following? The correct answer is the novel of sensibility. And those who have recently started preparing, let me give a tip to them. बहुत ही deeply prepare करिए. Do not just fall prey of those who say कि we will prepare you in 1 month or 2 months. Crash course. अगर आपने कुछ भी preparation नहीं की है तो I'll suggest keep your preparations lengthy. Crash course also will be suitable only for those who have been already preparing passionately for this examination and just want to brush up the knowledge a bit. लिटरेचर को जितना आप सोचते हैं कि इट इज़ जस्ट पोइट्री नॉवेल ड्रामा और स्टोरीज पढ़ लेंगे और इजीली कवर हो जाएगा, इट इज़ नॉट लाइक दैट. इट रियली नीड्स अ सीरियस स्टडी फॉर अ लॉन्गर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. Next question. The study of elementary speech sound is called what? Syntax, semantics, phonology or phonetics? जब आप बेसिक लेवल पर एलिमेंट्री लेवल पर स्पीच साउंड सीख रहे हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल इन स्कूल यू आर टोल्ड दिस इज प्रोनाउंस्ड एज ब का साउंड आता है, तो दैट मच अंडरस्टैंडिंग, बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग इज कॉल्ड फोनेटिक्स. लिटरेचर की हिस्ट्री ये कवर करना आपके लिए बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी हो जाता है फॉर एनी लिटरेरी एस्पायरेंट. The literacy period in England between 1700 and 1745 is called what? The correct answer is Augustan Age. The literacy period in England between 1558 and 1603 is? The correct answer here is Elizabethan Age. शेक्सपियर और क्रिस्टोफर मार्लो दो बहुत ही फेमस राइटर्स थे एलिजाबेथन एज के, साथ ही साथ राइटर्स राइटिंग्स भी याद करनी पड़ेंगी. Let us see this question. A coherent system composed of a number of symbolic elements and the moment related to it is called. This was the easy one. You will agree. Symbolist moment. That is the right answer. Revival of art and literature in Europe is what? रेनेसांस एक ऐसा पीरियड जिसकी बहुत डिटेल नॉलेज होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. कहाँ से शुरुआत हुई थी, कौन कौन से राइटर्स ने रेनेसांस पीरियड को ग्लोरीफाई किया था, वो सब कुछ आप डिटेल में पता करिए, तब इस एग्जाम को इजीली क्लियर कर पाएंगे. लिटरेचर में इतना कुछ है कि सोचा भी नहीं जा सकता, और पूरा लिटरेचर जितना भी आज तक का पब्लिश हुआ है, एक लाइफ टाइम भी कम है उतने लिटरेचर को कवर करने के लिए. उतने लिटरेचर की इवन बेसिक नॉलेज लेने के लिए भी एक लाइफ टाइम कम पड़ जाएगा. सो मच लिटरेचर हैज बीन पब्लिश्ड सिंस एजेस. एंड इन दिस क्वेश्चन वी विल टॉक अबाउट गॉथिक नॉवेल्स. सबसे पहले तो पता होना चाहिए गॉथिक की कैटेगरी में कौन कौन से नॉवेल्स आते हैं, एंड टू नो अबाउट द सेंचुरी एंड द फीचर्स इज अ सेकेंडरी थिंग. The correct answer is 17th century and Enlightenment period. This is simple. This is very basic. जिस भी person ने literary competitive exams की शुरुआत भी की होगी, they must know this answer. A lyric poem with 14 lines is what? The correct answer is sonnet, and many writers, Petrarch, Shakespeare, Milton, स्पेंसर, बहुत सारे राइटर्स बहुत फेमस है स्पेसिफिकली सोनेट राइटिंग के लिए. एंड वन राइटर इज वेरी फेमस फॉर राइटिंग अ कर्टल सोनेट. Whomsoever is watching the video carefully, Curtle sonnet. The sonnet was 10.5 lines. Please do tell me in comment which writer is famous for writing this type of sonnets. Repetition of consonant, one of the most famous literary devices. Yes, alliteration. Betty bought butter, butter was bitter. Betty bought better butter to make bitter butter better. Which sound is being repeated? Please do tell me in comments. And there was one very famous, I should say, philosopher who wanted poets to be banished. Isn't that ironical? Yes, this is. Let us know who this person is. The correct answer is Plato. प्लेटो, एरिस्टोटल, शेक्सपियर, ये 3-4 कुछ ऐसे राइटर्स हैं जिनको बहुत ही डिटेल में पढ़िए. आपको इंटरेस्टिंग लगे या बोरिंग लगे, बट दे आर गोइंग टू बी वेरी हेल्पफुल फॉर यू. Next question. Why does gynocriticism recommend as an approach? What does gynocriticism recommend as an approach to literature? Which writer gave this term gynocriticism? इसके क्या क्या phases होते हैं, वो सब कुछ अच्छे से कवर करिए. आप अपने आप इस आंसर को दे पाएंगे. The correct answer, now you know. Becoming more familiar with the history of women and women's writing. Gynocriticism basically analyzes women as a writer. You may or may not be sure about your own identity, but identity of all the writers you need to know to clear this exam. Which writer has which nationality, what interest, what historical concerns, what cultural aspects. Anything can be asked about any writer. Now there is a question about Horace. Horace was a Greek writer, Roman writer, Italian writer, or English writer. The correct answer is Roman writer. Who coined the term New Historicism? New Historicism, although the part of cultural studies, but a very interesting concept given by Stephen Greenblatt. The Nobel Prize 2021 winner in literature. The correct answer, Abdul Razak Gurna. Interesting name, isn't it? One more question about the same writer, Nobel Prize 2021 winner in literature, Abdul Razak Gurna. एक तो ये नाम आपको अब याद हो जाएगा. The question is, it belongs to which country? The correct answer is option C, Tanzania. Next question. How does Virginia Woolf's essay A Room of Unsown contribute to feminist theory? Virginia Woolf, a very nice feminist writer who kept on writing for the rights of females, specifically kept on finding the identities of females as a writer. Unfortunately, such an enlightened writer committed suicide. The correct answer of this question is, it suggests that gender roles are conditioned by the position of money and power. Money and power, or you can say authority. These things are needed to have a kind of control, basically control over your talent of being a writer specifically. The first man to win Nobel Prize for Literature. The correct answer is option D, Sully Prudhomme. Next question, who has been awarded the Nobel Prize 2020 in Literature? The correct answer here is Lewis Clark. Next question related to Lewis Clark, who has won 2020 Nobel Prize for Literature, belongs to which country? Correct answer is United States. Who called Chaucer the father of English literature? There are plethora of quotes and praises from one writer to other writer. वो सब भी आपको कवर करनी होंगी, कौन से राइटर ने किसी और राइटर के बारे में कुछ कहा है. Here the correct answer is John Dryden. Next question, for which of the following disciplines Nobel Prize is awarded? So this was the last question of the MCQ practice. 40 questions आएंगे आपको एग्जाम में, All of this is the correct answer for this one. Now there will be two more questions, each of 30 marks. This one is of 30 marks. कोई भी statement आपको दी जा सकती है. Just for reference, I have given you these one. You really need to understand all the major writers, their writings, their viewpoints, their historical context, their cultural aspects, each and everything you need to know about almost all the major writers. अपने आप को इतना टैलेंटेड बनाइए कि इन essays को आप लिख पाएं. Start writing with the introduction of these writers, what kind of writings they used to do, and then try to explore the particular quote that is being asked. और जो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन होता है जनरली रिलेटेड टू द हिस्ट्री ऑफ लिटरेचर और सम स्पेसिफिक मोमेंट. जैसे यहाँ पर मैंने फॉर एग्जांपल आपको दिया रेनेसांस विमेन्स राइटिंग इन इंग्लिश. कौन कौन सी फीमेल्स ने शुरुआती दौर में लिखना शुरू किया था एज एन इंग्लिश राइटर, कहाँ से शुरुआत हुई थी, कौन कौन से मेजर एग्जाम्पल्स आप विमेन राइटिंग के दे सकते हैं, व्हाट वाज द एज ऑफ रीजन, व्हाट इज यूफिज्म and metaphysical poets or poetries के features along with the examples and major writers. तो इस तरीके की आपको preparation करनी पड़ेगी regarding some specific eras, regarding some specific moments. Once again, I'm giving you your exam pattern, 40 questions MCQ, which we have practiced, and 2 subjective questions, 1 an essay, and second one a reflective essay, each of 30 marks. First one of 750 words they expect, and second one of 500 words. So please keep yourself ready in the same direction. Thanks for watching. Best of luck for exams, and please do not forget to share and subscribe the channel. And please keep a watch over the notifications of all the universities. इतनी preparation कर रहे हैं, कोई form filling miss नहीं होना चाहिए आपका.